Hi, my name is Mukund and I'm from Section B. My topic for the assignment is the Household Consumption and Expenditure Survey of 2022-23. As we all know, the Household Consumption and Expenditure Survey is a very critical survey that has been conducted by the National Statistics Office under the Ministry of Statistics and Policy Implementation. The main objective of this survey is to gather data and do analysis which will help us gather comprehensive understanding about the consumption and expenditure pattern, the standard of living, and it will also be helpful in evaluating the existing policy outcomes and in making new policies. This survey is also very important to calculate the inflation through the CPI of the current consumption basket. Because the consumption basket changes from time to time, and this survey is very important to see how the consumption basket has changed and how the inflation has also changed. The recent CES was conducted in the August 2022-23, where around 261,000 households were covered. Among the 261,000 households, 40% were from urban area and 59.2% were from rural areas. The data pool also included around 8,700 villages and around 6,115 urban blocks. The survey included 405 items, and the estimation was done based on the modified mixed reference period, where the recall period was based on either 7 days, 30 days, or 365 days for the various goods that have been classified in this survey. The data was also collected to the computer-assisted personal interviews. So here I have compared how CES 22-23 is different from the previous surveys. For example, the NSS 68th round, which was conducted in 2011-2012. The major difference is that this survey, the recent survey, contains about 405 items, whereas the previous survey consisted about 347 items. So the number of items has increased, which suggests that the consumption basket has also changed. And the most critical of all these changes is that the survey, which was being conducted as a single list, is now being conducted in 3 separate lists. One for food items, one for consumables and surveys, and one for durable items. And based on the data that has been published, it is also said that the data was collected through multiple visits, and the data was collected through computer-assisted methods, whereas the previous survey was through pen and paper method. And this survey also includes an imputed figure where they have calculated, where they have forecasted and calculated the consumption based on goods that have been given as welfare schemes to various people. That is captured in the imputed figures as well. The most significant findings are that the consumption expenditure has increased over 2.5 times as that of the previous survey, which was conducted in 2011-2012. The average consumption expenditure is 3,700 in rural areas and 6,459 in urban areas. The top 5% of the population consumes about 10,500 in rural areas and 20,000 in urban areas. This shows that there is an inequality within the rural and the urban areas. And I've also shown that Sikkim and other states, Sikkim has the highest consumption, whereas Chhattisgarh has the lowest consumption. And as we can also see here is that the difference between the rural and urban areas has significantly come down over the period of years. And also that non-food items has a major proportion in the consumption basket. The same is captured here, where the rural areas and urban areas, you can see that the non-food items have a major proportion of their consumption. Over the period of years, we can also see that how the consumption in the rural areas has more been towards food items, and that has been significantly coming down, whereas the one that is in rural urban areas, it has been the non-food items composition is growing up. And one of the significant findings of this is that the inequality in consumption distribution. There is a huge difference between the top 10% of the consumption expenditure in the population and the bottom 5%, and the difference is more than 5 times of the consumption value. And major urban consumption is non-food items, as we have already discussed, and major rural consumption is on food items. And it is understood that from the press releases that the CPI estimates will soon be released, and the comprehensive report will also be released in the month of June.